Look, let's just keep it real for a second, all right? Because Kelsey Mitchell joining Unrivaled is one of the things that got people hype, and I get it, I'm hyped too. But let's not ignore the real conversation we need to have around this. Because on one hand, yeah, I'm happy for it. Get to the bag, do your thing, get your money. I'm not mad at any hooper choosing to stay stateside, especially when you spend years putting in work and now you finally get a chance to earn something meaningful without flying overseas away from family. Um, Risking injuries in countries where you're not even properly covered if something goes wrong. So yeah, on that standpoint, phenomenal. Unrivaled as a league is dope in concept. I'm loving it. I watched it a little bit last year. I didn't throw no bets or nothing like that. I don't do no betting, but it was pretty fun. It reminded me of like 3-on-3 street ball in a way, but just, professional. And I like the whole concept of keeping the money um in house, in America, you know, and supporting each other as WNBA players by helping each other get to the bag in the off season where they can um build something, let alone outside of the WNBA, but it's still a player development type of league in the offseason from the WNBA. So yeah, I think the concept is amazing. But at the same time, the structure, right? I already mentioned the 303 concept because what we not about to do is act like last season this league didn't have some red flags. This is the second season. I'm not expecting it to be perfect, but the injuries with Alyssa Thomas, Jackie Young, you know, um, Laney, even whole teams like the Laces had to cancel games because they was down bad, full on injury list, right? And you mean to tell me that's obvious a red flag, and you can't tell me that's not a red flag. And the way that 3v3 setup is built, small roster rotations, high speed, shot clocks, tight shot clocks, more space, and it's nonstop action, right? It's like a yo-yo effect. But it's also bodies flying around like bumper cars, or I should say, um, bodies flying around like darts, you know what I'm saying? Flying at each other. And when your legs get tired, your IQ drops, your instincts get sloppy, and that's when injuries are prone to happen. And there's no denying that, but it ain't about being soft, it's about being smart because we know that Kelsey Mitchell comes with the aggression. She shows up every single night. She's the third Indiana Fever to join the Unrivaled, if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm always open to the possibility of being wrong. But for someone like Kelsey Mitchell, a star player on the Indiana Fever, look, we need her healthy to come back in the regular season. Most importantly, for her team, for her franchise, continue to build with Caitlin Clark, the phenomenal legend herself. And competition is amazing, right? But there's got to be balance between chasing the bag and protecting the body that got you here, right? Which gave you the value in the first place to be phenomenal, let alone be drafted in 2018. And she's been with the Indiana Fever since then. And we know that the Indiana Fever likes to play fast pace. Caitlin Clark is fast pace. And I'm going to say the unpopular truth. Some of these athletes are being put in positions where they're not set up for longevity. And it's just a obvious concern. Kelsey is one of the most offensively gifted guards in the league, fast, skilled, and can break you down when it comes to dribbling. She know how to angle when it comes to the whole body language and moving the ball and being shifty. And she's deadly in space. And a 3-on-3 format where help defense is limited, she would definitely dominate and demolish people. And if her legs can hold up. But that if is going to require her doing a lot of work being shifty. Because we already saw what happened to the big names, right? With the whole Enrique situation. Everybody thought she was gonna go crazy and she was laying eggs out there. Sometimes your game don't translate. 3v3 is not just half court WNBA. It's its own challenge within itself. The spacing, the pace, the transition from defense to offense happens in a split second. And if you're not built for that or conditioned, trust me, especially conditioned, you will definitely be humiliated, exposed, shown out, and look, in a different setting, in a different league, in home, in house, in the US. Of course, I want the best for Kelsey and want her to show out. Love her game, love her charisma, love her attitude, but obviously, there's always the possibility of risk being involved because in life we go through things unexpected and life just be lifing. And, you know, you want to be proactive, not reactive. And since we're going to say the truth, look at Caitlin Clark, right? She was ironclad. And a lot of people have been asking about her joining Unrivaled. And it was an offer for Ice Cube to join the Big Three she turned down. And you know, Caitlin Clark is definitely not smart for her to join right now. Off limits. She should focus on fully recovering and fully adjusting and, you know, shaking the rust off, which she ain't gonna have no problem with because when you have played basketball for so long and become a master class like Caitlin Clark, it's just like second nature when you get back into things. Now, throwing Caitlin Clark into a high speed, contact heavy 3v3 environment where beef amplifies. No real defensive coverage. You got to use your common sense. Caitlin even said herself she don't like that format of the 3v3, and that's enough right there. So she'll find her rhythm in a W before individuals rush her into another media circus. And some of these players just don't rock with her. You know, we all know that envy took place when Caitlin Clark joined. And you can hear it in interviews, you can hear it in their speech, you can hear it in their tone, you can see how they play ball. Anytime you gotta dirty, play dirty and not clean when it comes to being professional at your game, that says a lot of how not only envious you can be, but how I call that spiteful ball, you know what I'm saying? So if anybody can manage the load and deliver still, um, it is Kelsey. She's resilient. And they got to restructure some things, maybe longer shot clocks, deeper benches, more medical staff. Um, because the Indiana Fever can't keep going for these big name signings and then acting surprised when injuries are piling up like a haystack. We want longevity, not burnout. And this is not just about Unrivaled as a brand. This is about the bigger picture, how the athletes are being treated. The referees, we know they need some work, some accountability for the most part to even start for them to even put in the work to do things right and building platforms responsibly and holding every system accountable so we can actually enjoy the beauty of basketball and not things be an insult or taken away from the beauty of basketball. Because if your excitement for a player being in the league outweighs your concern for well-being, then you become part of the problem. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. That's my take on it. So I'll be watching a little bit more because Kelsey Mitchell, Shifty Kelsey, is in the building now. Shout out to her. But look, enjoying the moment, but I'm not going to ignore the risk because she's phenomenal, man. And at that point, Kelsey just got to keep it real, keep it smart, and I'm sure she has no problem with keeping herself accountable. She's a phenomenal individual just off of her aura, how she plays the game, how she articulates herself. Obviously, I don't know her personally, but just based on her demeanor through the ups and downs with her team and being a team player she is and how she talk about her team tells much about her character, even when the spotlight is not on her. And I'm going to leave it there, family. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give this video a big thumbs up. I hope you got some vibe from this video. Subscribe and join the family if you haven't. On that note, family, peace.